Hello, my name is Leon Nyhouse. After working for 43 years, I am now in retirement status. But I do not ski, and as shown by the snow in my backyard, I cannot play golf in Maine in the winter. So, to keep myself occupied year-round, I started the Dirigo Energy Institute, or DEI, explained it in a book entitled Power Without Borders, available on Amazon, and set up a DEI website at www.dirigoenergy.org. All results from all DEI projects will be shared with all countries on an equal basis. This led DEI to adopt the motto, Power Without Borders. A power pyramid shows DEI pursuits as solar power, ocean power, and nuclear power. Electricity from these sources will either be sent to the grid or will be used to desalinate seawater, split water into hydrogen and oxygen, and combine hydrogen with carbon dioxide to form methanol, shown as the foundation of the pyramid. Now, it is the consensus opinion of professionals in the field that global warming might destroy civilization as we know it. All three legs of the power pyramid can help to avert this disaster, but the nuclear power leg has a distinct advantage over the other two legs. This is because of Einstein's equation, E equals mc squared. Or, as noted in the September 1990 issue of Scientific American, the atom contains 1 trillion times, I say again, 1 trillion times the energy density of wind or solar. This fact of nature gives nuclear power an intrinsic ability to be a player in the global warming debate. I worked in nuclear power for 14 years. 7 of these were in the U.S. Navy, during which time I qualified as chief engineer in the nuclear-powered submarine USS Simon Bolivar, SSBN 641. In civilian life, I worked 7 years in commercial nuclear power, during which time I was the site manager for combustion engineering during initial operations at Maine Yankee. In addition, I worked for 29 years in shipbuilding, during which time I was involved with the volume production of CGs, or cruisers, and DDGs, or destroyers. So, from my perspective, one good way to power the planet is to volume produce standard modular floating nuclear power plants in shipyards and move them by heavy lift ship or tug to a generating site that is accessible from a navigable waterway. DEI's first project, therefore, will be to research, develop, and demonstrate a generating site that can hold many standard modular floating nuclear power plants. 3 prime characteristics of this site are: 1, it must be selected high enough such that it will not be affected by storm surges or tsunamis. Plants will access the site from the navigable waterway and through a locking dam. 2, plants will operate in the floating condition so earthquakes can be removed from the safety equation. And 3, radioactive wastes will be moved from the plant through the locking dam to the navigable waterway and to a remote island for final disposal. Any modular nuclear power plant now in operation or on the planning board can be used in this way. These include, but are not limited to, pressurized water reactors, heavy water reactors, boiling water reactors, pebble bed reactors, high temperature gas cool reactors, integral fast reactors, and traveling wave reactors. Concerning high-level nuclear wastes from these plants, virtually every scientific committee that has ever been convened to evaluate this problem has concluded that deep geologic disposal is the answer. Now that's fine in principle, but with Yucca Mountain in a holding pattern, no site has been identified for the high-level waste disposal associated with any U.S. commercial nuclear power plant. So the next question is, what do we do with existing inventories? the answer is leave them right where they are. Except in some cases this is not possible. So until a high-level disposal site is set, several options are available, one of which is to store these wastes on a remote island. One of many examples is the abandoned World War II airfield on Eastern Island at Midway. For one quick example, the 60 canisters of spent nuclear fuel and 4 canisters of other rad waste at Main Yankee could be stored there in the identical manner in which they are now stored at Wiscasset. There are no technical showstoppers preventing this from happening in the near term. Now that we're talking about Midway, remember the several thousand-mile-long Great Wall of China was built to keep out intruders. In a similar manner, a 20-mile-long Great Necklace of Midway can be built to keep out intruders, just not of the human variety. Many tons of debris from the Great Garbage Patch swirling in the northern Pacific Ocean reach the beaches of Midway each year. And now residue from the recent tsunami in Japan is adding to this total. All of this residue would be captured by an encircling string of floating platforms. None would reach Midway. Now, low-level radioactive wastes could be stored on these floating platforms. If that were to happen, the money DEI would receive for this service could be used to build the floating platforms, outfit them with debris catchers, and perhaps even have enough left over to pay for all operational expenses. I want to be very clear about one thing. DEI's ability to be a player in the global warming debate is contingent upon 3 things. 1. Replicate a standard generating site that holds many standard modular floating nuclear power plants volume produced in shipyards. 2. Store high-level rad wastes on remote islands until there is a disposal site ready. Number 3. Store low-level rad wastes on remote islands until they decay to background levels. I am convinced there are sources out there to pay for this non-profit work. I just have not found them yet. But for the next 3 years, at least, DEI intends to be doing some diligent searching. A swag for the amount of money needed is $20,000 to open and outfit an office, $200,000 to prepare cost estimates to store high-level rad waste and spent nuclear fuel on remote islands until a final disposal site is ready, $2 million to prepare detailed designs and cost estimates for a prototype floating platform and a prototype generating site, $20 million to build a prototype floating platform designed to hold low-level rad wastes until they decay to background levels, and $200 million to build a standard generating site that can hold many standard floating nuclear power plants volume produced in shipyards. This money is expected to come from many sources. Some of them might even be from other countries that have nuclear power in their energy supply portfolio or those that want to acquire it. In conclusion, I want to say that more information can be found on the DEI website at www.deargoenergy.org and in the book entitled Power Without Borders. Comments, questions, or concerns can be sent to info@deargoenergy.com. And that's it, the end. Except I want to thank Tom Hall for producing this video and Joe Gallagher for his IT support. Thanks for watching.